I'm a box fighter. I can box and I can fight. People are quite surprised how well I fight on the inside because obviously I'm quite, tall, skinny. But yeah, no. In fact, in the amateurs, I did have a lot of. I fought a lot. I'll go to the wire. Like I'd have big tear-ups. But I feel like in the professional game with the longer duration, longer rounds, I feel like people are going to see my boxing side. My boxing side is going to shine through because I can box very well. From a young age, where I've grown up around it, going to all these shows, I've always known that I wanted to be a boxer, and I actually wanted to start a lot earlier than I did. I started when I was 11, but when I was 7, I said to my dad, can I start boxing? And he was completely against it. He didn't want me to. And I kept badgering him, and eventually he said, okay, you can't fight until you're 11 legally, so on your 11th birthday, if you still want to, I'll take you down the gym. He obviously thought I was going to forget about it and da-da-da. I made him shake my hand because I know his word is everything to him, and I knew if I could get a handshake that it was serious. So I got him to shake my hand, and on my 11th birthday, I reminded him, took me straight to the gym. I was in bed after my 3rd fight when I was 12, and I just pulled off a really good win. And he came in and he said to me, he congratulated me, and he said good night, gave me a kiss on the head, and then he went to turn my light off. I said, Dad. He said, what? I said, 3-0, baby. And he obviously felt the need to sit down and talk to me then, because he did. He sat on the bed and he said, look son, this amateur game, it's not smooth sailing. I can either keep you at home, you maybe have limited fights, get padded records, a lot of wins, hardly any losses, and I can, we can do that, we can take that route, or we can start taking fights anytime, any place, against anyone, like traveling, become the road warrior. And there will be a lot of heartache along the way. You will have bad decisions go against you fighting away from home, but you will learn to fight, and I said to him, let's get in the car, let's go on the road. We'll fight anyone, anytime, any place. So I've been at 3 clubs as an amateur. I started off in this gym right here, 7 Oaks ABC. Done a lot with Paul Lynch, done a bit of training with him, and obviously at Body Shots, I've done a lot of training with Lee Wilkins, and I'm very close to him as well. Over in Ireland, I've been to St Monica's in Newry. I'm very close with Owen Murphy. He's helped me out a lot. He's been like a second dad to me while I've been, living and fighting over in Ireland. I've been going out there constantly since the age of 12. Like consistently, it's home to me, to be honest with you. I love Ireland, and I owe a lot to Owen because he's looked after me a lot out there. Well, the main difference in Ireland is, it's like having a fight. It's like having a cup of tea to them. There's like no nerves whatsoever. You'll be in the dressing room, everyone will be having a laugh, and you would never guess that they were going to fight someone else one-on-one in like a few minutes. Like it's nothing to them. Like whereas in England it's a little bit more, you feel the pressure, it's a bit more tense and stuff like that. But yeah, the fighting Irish, it just comes natural to them, and I feel like I've picked that up almost, because for me, since I've been boxing out in Ireland as a kid, I really don't get nervous for fights anymore, to be honest with you. Obviously you feel a bit of butterflies and stuff, but nowhere near as what it would be. But on the other hand, sometimes a lot of Irish fighters, they go a bit lapsy-daisy with their training and nutrition and stuff, because to them it's just a fight. Obviously when you get to the elite level and the top boys, they take it seriously, they train hard and take the nutrition seriously, but just the boxers in general out there, they just it's nothing to them. It's just normal. It's a way of life. Had 100-odd fights, boxed at elite level. Not only boxed the best in England and Ireland, I boxed the best in Europe and the world. The main goal was to pick up as much experience as possible at elite level, become as good a fighter as possible before turning pro. The amateur game and the pro game, they're like two completely different sports. It's like asking what's the difference between an 800-metre race and a marathon. You know, first and foremost, amateur boxing is just 3 rounds. And pro boxing, championship fights are 12 rounds. So you can't just be on your toes, in and out, bum 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 bum. You gotta, there's a lot more thinking involved, a lot more. It's chess, not checkers, you know. My dad, he taught me from the start. He taught me from when I couldn't throw a punch. We do have a lot of arguments, but it's only natural because, you know, I spend all my time with him. I spend more time with him than anyone. But even though we have our arguments and fights, there's that unconditional love. Like, we'll always come back around and, you know, move on. And to be honest with you, there isn't anyone I'd rather in my corner than my dad, because for one, people don't realise how much of a boxing man he is. He studies everything. He's a boxing anorak. He studies all sorts of styles. He just watches everything and everyone, and he's got a lot of boxing knowledge. He's been in the game 20, 30 years. He's been involved in every sort of section of the game. He boxed when he was younger. He was actually very talented, but I think when he got to 18, he dislocated his shoulder and he just kept popping out and popping out. So he had to pack it in, but the love for the game was still there. So he found a job in boxing. That's when he started promoting, managing, and you know, he's very knowledgeable of the game. He knows what it's like to get in there himself. He knows all the emotions that run through your body on fight day. When I was growing up, it was mainly my dad's stable, like, because I got to know these guys on a personal level. I always looked up to them, just as a youngster. But when I actually started getting into boxing and boxing myself, obviously start studying the game, and my favourite fighters to watch, like, I watch everything. I'm a boxing anorak. My favourite was Sugar Ray Leonard. He was unbelievable. But I also liked Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler. I watched all their fights, those 3 together. And of course, Muhammad Ali. But more modern day, I look up to the likes of Canelo, Love Lomachenko, Errol Spence Jr, Golovkin. Just their mentality. They'll fight anyone, and it's not about the money. They have goals and they want to be the best, and they'll fight anyone. They don't shy away, they don't duck anyone. And you know, they're class fighters. Honestly, I feel truly blessed. Like, it's an unbelievable opportunity for myself to perform to that sort of audience, and it's how it should be. Boxing should be on terrestrial TV, in my opinion, because when fighters are coming through, that's when I believe that, you know, it should be on terrestrial TV, because we need the supporters. Without the supporters, we won't get to that box office level. All the big stars in the past, that's how they were built up, with the people getting behind them and the supporters getting behind them. And without the supporters, us fighters would be nothing. It's only right to be on terrestrial TV. But there does become a certain stage when you're in these mega fights and you're putting your life on the line against another killer. There needs to be more at stake. You deserve more. So you do need box office, but at a later date, when you're in the mega fights, that obviously, you know, the box office will come into play. But up and coming, when you're coming through the ranks, I feel like you should be on terrestrial TV. It should be free for the supporters to watch, because they're the guys building you, they're the guys watching you, you know, making you into the name that you one day would like to be. It's a new start for my career. It's like a new lease on life. This is the beginning of my boxing career. Like, I put everything else in the past, and now, you know, the future's bright.